What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I kind of want to go over the Warbonds and Helldivers. Kind of share if I were to do it all over again as a new player, which ones I would go for, which ones I would prioritize based on the weapons they have, based on the stratagems, based on the overall equipment that they offer. This list isn't going to necessarily prioritize or look at the armor sets as far as how they look, or the overall drip, if you will, of them. This is mainly going to be just like what I think I would prioritize based on if I was looking to play the game for what it is, and what weapons I think would be the most useful, what passes I think would be the most useful. Yeah. But yeah, if you're a new player, if you're going to be joining us here with Xbox, this is a great way to kind of figure out what the best warbond is, in my opinion, for you to unlock or focus on first, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, without further ado, let's go and jump into it. Alrighty, y'all. So the first warbond I would go for, it's pretty easy to pick out for me at least. Definitely democratic detonation. Um, this warbond has a little bit of everything. It has probably some of the best weapons you can go for in the whole game. First page here, we're gonna have the thermite, arguably one of the best throwables in the game. Definitely a must to have against the bots. Takes out the hulks pretty fairly easily. Just an overall great throwable to have in your arsenal. And then it also has arguably one of the best assault rifles in the game in the adjudicator. The adjudicator is going to have probably one of the higher outputs as far as damage goes. It is medium armor pen as well. It has a decent capacity as well at 30. Overall, could be arguably one of the best ARs in the game. You also have the in my opinion, maybe the best primary in the game with the Eruptor. The Eruptor has the IV armor penetration with the high damage output of 455. It's going to be able to close bug holes. It's going to be able to essentially take out like any kind of mobs if it's at a distance enough. The only drawback about it is it's not the best. It can kill you in close combat, so it's not good in close combat at all. But overall, from medium range to long range, it is amazing. It's able to take out hulks as well. It's able to do damage at pretty much everything in the game that's not that's below anti-tank essentially. You also have the passives here that are going to be the engineering kit. One of the better passives in the game. It gives you the reduced recoil. Very helpful if you're going to be maining a stalwart or any kind of machine gun. Definitely something that you want to have in your armor arsenal if you're going to be using a machine gun quite a bit. You also have the extra throwables here with the +2 throwables. Kind of hard to go wrong with that passive, a solid passive with any faction you're going against. And of course you have the grenade launcher pistol. The grenade pistol, it's a solid secondary to have, especially with bugs. It's able to close bug holes, so it's going to be something that you can kind of take in place of if you don't have like an eruptor, or if you don't have like the next gun we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a great way to close those bug holes. And even like with mobs, like with the illuminate, it is okay against the bots. It just doesn't do a whole lot of there's just other options I think that might be better with the bots, but definitely a good call for the bugs for sure. And of course, next is going to be the crossbow. Crossbow is one of the best primaries you can have. It's going to be able to close bug holes as well. It's going to be able to take care of any kind of like mobs as well. If you have any issues like the bugs, illuminate as well. It is not the best against the bots, in my opinion. I think that's where the Eruptor kind of shines over the crossbow. One thing the crossbow does have for it as well is it is one-handed. So again, going back to like the bugs, for example, if you run away from like the bugs, you can still shoot it behind you and get some good damage off as well. But yeah, definitely, if I were to pick just one Warbond, if I could just unlock one, like my first, first go around, I would go for the Democrat Dedanation. It has the most to offer, in my opinion. All right, and then next up, we're going to be going with the, let's see here, where is it at? We're going to be going with the Urban Legends. Um, Urban Legends is going to have probably the best armor passive in the game, which is going to give us the Siege Ready. Siege Ready is going to give us their reload speed, as well as the extra capacity for ammo. Now, with the recent buff to the epilots with the Masters of Ceremony Warbond, you can make an argument for that, especially with the Pyrotech. I love the Pyrotech and some of the other weapons in there. In my opinion, at least, I think the Siege Ready is still a better option. Um, I think that increased ammo capacity is going to be the big one for me. The other one you get with epilots is the extra limb injury, like prevention, 50% I think it is, plus the extra melee damage. Now, if you're going to be manning like a saber or a hatchet, by all means, epilots is better there. Go for it. But if you're not doing melee isn't really an option for in my opinion, at least most factions. I think the Luminant's the only one that you can kind of like get away with it. But with the bugs, especially predators, you're gonna get whacked. And then of course you're gonna do that with the bots. The bots are just gonna pummel you. So that's where I think the Siege Ready is the more feasible option to use overall. With that, you also get the directional shield stratagem. Not really used a whole lot, but it is a good it's a solid stratagem if you want to use that, especially if you have like the crossbow or something that's one-handed. And then of course we have the stun lance, we have the flame sentry. It's gotten better now with the buff now, so it's able to kind of like not put itself on fire as easily. So a lot better for sure. And then we have the arm resupply pods, one of the more underrated boosters as far as the like things to take with you. Everyone pretty much takes the experimental infusion, the extra health infusion or extra health. This is a good one to have if everyone in the party has like the ones you go for. If you have this, it kind of gives you the ability to add something besides the main ones that people mostly have access to, especially the health ones. And of course, we have the anti-tank emplacement. Now, the anti-tank emplacement is a must for any defense mission, hands down. That's for any faction. It is very usable, very helpful though in any kind of bot mission too, especially you try to take any kind of like striders or any kind of like big enemies. So yeah, anti-tank emplacement is a great option overall for that. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Polar Patriots. The Polar Patriots is going to be a great warbond that has the kind of a mix of different things, especially with the passives. It gives you all these different passives because most of the warbonds that we see are going to have like one theme, like one type of armor passive in, like light armor, medium armor, and heavy, right? This one's kind of different in that it has 3 different ones that have different types of passives. So this one we're going to have, the first one we have is servo. It's going to be a heavy body armor with servo as our passive. The next one we're going to have is the fortified, which gives us the reduced recoil as well as 50% resistance to explosive damage. Very useful against the bots especially. I don't use this passive that much, but I mean, if you're a stealth bomber or a stealth diver, the enemies are going to be able to like see you a lot less. It's gonna reduce the range at which enemies can detect the warrior by 30%. It also gives you markers placed on the map that generate radar scans every 2 seconds. Again, I really don't use this passive, but if you're someone who plays by themselves and or by yourself, and you kind of like are just a solo diver, you want to play a stealth style, this could be something you like or something you want to use for moving forward. Going back to the first page here, as far as our weapons go, we have again one of the better ARs, one of the higher damaging AR is the tenderizer. Now the tenderizer has 105 in the damage. It is light armor pen, so kind of like a downfall there, but it does have a little more capacity than we saw with the previous AR, so that's a good thing to have as well. Motivational shocks. I mean, I never, like, I don't, as you see, I don't have it unlocked. It's not one of the better ones, but it's there if you want it. The pummeler is actually a pretty good SMG. It has pretty high damage and pretty good capacity as well. It is light armor pen, of course. It is one-handed though, so like the crossbow, you can have that firing if you're kind of retreating, or if you're gonna be, if you are holding on the hard drive in those missions for the data upload. One of my favorite bombs as well, or throwables, is the incendiary impact. Very fun to use. Pretty decent damage. Now I will say the incendiary, the one that has the fuse, does have more damage, so that can't be denied. But if you're someone who wants to have like something to close bug holes, or something that you're gonna throw down at the floor like at mobs and like event and right away have a detonation, incendiary impact's a fun way to go with that. Now, the reason we are here, the reason I am suggesting this over other ones at number 3 is the purifier. The purifier is an amazing gun. It's one of the best primaries. It's up there with the eruptor for me. I think the only thing it does not do, which is kind of sad that the eruptor has over it, is it does not close bug holes. If it closed bug holes, I think this would be a way more versatile weapon than the eruptor. The reason for that is because it has the ability to essentially charge up and have that big blast radius, kind of like how the eruptor does, taking care of mobs and whatnot. But it also has the ability to shoot as a semi-auto, to where if you're kind of in a pinch to where people are kind of bum rushing you, and you're getting kind of like overwhelmed. You can't use the eruptor in that kind of scenario, right? Close quarters. This one you can't. Obviously, you can't charge it up because obviously that blast radius is going to get you. But you can do a semi-auto fire for it, and still be able to pick off people that are trying to get you at that point. So I think it's more versatile than the purifier. I mean, than the eruptor, excuse me. But the eruptor, of course, has a heavy armor pen going for it. It has the ability to close bug holes. So yeah, overall, I think it's up there with the eruptor. I think the eruptor beats it just a bit because of those things we talked about. But this essentially is why we go for the Polar Patriots number 3. Now, as far as honorable mentions go, I wanted to go over the Servants of Freedom. Servants of Freedom has, hands down, I think, the best secondary, and that's of course, the Ultimatum. The Ultimatum is a free stratagem. It's going to be a free airstrike, essentially, if you know how to use it. It's going to be able to take out pretty much anything that you fire at it. Now, it will take a few... it won't be able to take a strider out, obviously. It used to be able to, though. But it can take pretty much anything out besides that. I do think, though, the flesh mobs, unless they've been changed with their HP, I don't think one ultimatum takes out a flesh mob. It gets close to it, to where like it's 1 or 2 shots after that, as far as like your primary gun. But it does not. I don't think it takes out the flesh mobs. Just one ultimatum, shot. You also in this Warbond get the double-edged sickle. I have a video that I'm gonna put a card up over here on this side. Yeah, that way. That kind of goes over how you can set up the double-edged sickle as essentially a primary stalwart almost. Paired with the inflammable passive, that thing can do some real damage, and it can be really usable for you if you want to play that style. Besides that, we have the portable hell bomb as well. It's a backpack stratagem you can take that's fun to use. So yeah, kind of like self-explanatory there with that. The Seeker, it's a decent throwable. I really don't use it as much as I probably should, I guess, but I tend to use the pyrotech or the mostly the thermite really, but the thermite between the thermite and the pyrotech, those are my go-tos for throwables. Um, but yeah, it also has our armor passive for the integrated explosives, which essentially explodes your body 1.5 seconds after you die. Um, wasn't very usable, but now that they've added the throwable, the increased inventory for throwables, it makes it way more useful. So if you're someone who likes to have that extra two throwables in your inventory, this might be one you go for as far as your armor passives go. Alrighty, y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys agree with these or if I'm completely off and there's other ones that I should be looking at or talking about for our new divers. Um, I will say the beauty of Helldivers as a whole is there's so many different ways and different combinations that you can build a loadout. Um, Based on how you play the game, based on the factions you're playing, based on level of difficulty, different things you're trying. So I mean, there's so many. All the war bonds are good in their own way. These are just my opinion based on what I would do if I was playing the game all over again, based on how I play now. I think there's great options in there that I didn't talk about, such as Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge has great weapons just like the Arc Blitzer. That is a solid weapon for anyone as far as primaries go. We didn't even talk about the gas Warbond. The gas Warbond has, of course, the very powerful grass grenade, as well as the gas rover that's gotten better now with it being smarter on how it goes about targeting your enemies. But yeah, even like the Master of Ceremony with the epilots now, if you're not someone who's going to be like liking siege ready or doesn't want to use siege ready, but still want to has the faster reload speed, epilots might be the way to go, and you also get the pyrotech with it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this list. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe. Be sure to take a look at our merch shop that we launched recently. We have some really cool Helldivers 2 themed merch that you cannot find anywhere else. All original ones that we created here in the studio. But yeah, make sure you show your support, show us some love with your likes and subscribes, and until next time, peace.